Well, good morning, good afternoon, good night. This is Ray with Wisdom on Wednesday, and I'm glad you chose to log in again and check us out for another week. This week, as I was praying about an opportunity for us to talk about, I just want to talk about wise people. We're going to have to learn how to keep going. As we understand our definition of wisdom, wisdom is basically us checking out our experiences, our past. And a lot of times, wisdom comes from a past that wasn't that nice. Wisdom comes from pain. Many of us have stories to tell. But I want to encourage you today that wise people, we have to have the wherewithal to continue to keep going. Regardless of what's going on in our lives, we have to make a decision. And that decision is, regardless of what's happening, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what's going on around me, I'm going to keep going. Now, keep going doesn't have to be something lofty. Keep going doesn't have to be some type of business venture. Keep going doesn't have to be some type of major commitment. But some of us have given up on living and we're just existing. I want to encourage you to get back to living. Keep going. Get back to living your dreams. Get back to living, going outside, enjoying your life. Existing, you just wake up, go to work, pay bills. But when you're living, you're actually doing the things that you enjoy. You're actually experiencing, loving. You're actually feeling. You're actually allowing yourself to be who you've been called to be. Keep going. There's times where people come into our lives and they may not be for us in this season, but ultimately, we've got to keep going. Just because we don't understand some things that are going on, we don't understand some new pressures, we don't understand some new stressors, that does not give us a license to stop. It doesn't give us a license to stop existing and stop being. But what it does is it gives us an opportunity to recognize that I must be going higher because my mountain just got taller. And since my mountain got taller, I'm going to keep going. I may not feel my best. My health may not be the best, but I'm still breathing, so I'm going to keep going. Regardless of the job situation I'm on, I'm going to keep going. I remember a time where I was working in the warehouse of Eco Hardware, and I had a supervisor where the job was slow, and there wasn't a whole lot of trucks coming in. And he handed me a broom, and he says, "I want you to sweep the floor." And I took the broom reluctantly. And I felt like he was giving me a demeaning job. I believed that I was better than sweeping the floor. And so I went home and my jaws were still tight. And I had the conversation with my wife. And I told her how I felt lesser than a man because I had to sweep the floor. And she asked me, she said, "When he passed you the broom, when he gave you the job assignment, did he change your pay?" And I looked her in her eyes and I said, "I know why I married you." I said, "No, my pay didn't change, but my pride did." So I went back to work the next day and things were slow. I volunteered for the broom. You see, family, what you do doesn't define you. Keep going. Just because somebody handed me a broom, it didn't mean that I was a person who was lesser than who God created me to be because I was sweeping the floor. The job is just an avenue for me to share the opportunities that God has given me through that employer. Where I work doesn't make me. Where I work doesn't define me. Who I'm married to doesn't define me. The things that I do, the things that I amass do not define me. Keep going. You may have experienced a major loss this year. You may have experienced some things that didn't work out in your favor. Keep going. What is the reason that you planned the thing that you planned? Was it so that you can be the best of the best? Or did you make a plan? Did you make an investment that will change the lives of everybody in your family? To make a career goal that will change the plot of your entire life? Maybe this isn't the job that God has for you. Maybe this isn't a career that God has for you. Maybe this particular season is something that made your eyes open, that maybe you need to work a little harder. Maybe you need to invest in yourself a little bit more. Maybe you need to take your time management more serious. Keep going. Just because it didn't work out doesn't mean that it's final. Just because you failed, that doesn't mean that's your definition. That doesn't mean that that's your identity. Failure is not your finale. Failure is formative. Now you have a building block on which you can stand to go higher and higher. Now you have to recognize that I'm going to continue to push forward. I'm going to continue to try harder. I'm going to continue to be all that I'm called to be. Keep going. Your relationship may not be at the best it needs to be right now. It's very easy in a relationship to point out all the things the other person isn't doing. But you know what you could do? You can actually look at the thing, not look out of a window, but look into a mirror and see, how can I make myself better? What can I do to change the situations that I don't like in this relationship? Am I a communicator? Am I a person who is easily expressive about the way I'm feeling? Am I a person that is easily to talk to when I'm not feeling my best? Do I shut down when I'm not feeling my best? Are there some things that I can work on? You see, one of the best aspects about being in a relationship is that God puts you with somebody to help you grow up. Oh, yeah. I know the movies make us feel like you'll get butterflies in your stomach and you'll grow together and you'll just be old and agree on everything. That's for the movies. God will give you somebody that will sometimes get on your ever-loving nerves. But what will happen is you'll grow up. Keep going. Some of us are dealing with some debilitating diseases, some debilitating aches in our bodies. It feels like if it's not one thing, it's another. Keep going. You may not feel your best. Keep going. You may feel like it seems like I'm not getting over the hump financially. I've been trying. I've been saving. Keep going. Because if you keep striving, if you keep going, you're going to get where you're supposed to go. But if you give up, if you stay in the bed, nothing's going to change. If we sit there and we sulk and we complain about what's not going right in our lives, nothing's going to change. But if you put one step in front of the other, you're not where you were yesterday. You're a little bit farther. Keep going. Maybe the school, like me, I took an opportunity to take my master's program, and some of these books are exciting. Some of these books are easy to digest, and some of these books is feeling like I'm reading another language. Keep going. I have to tell myself I'm not going to get an A in every class. That's not why I signed up. I signed up so I can learn. I signed up so I can grow. I signed up so I can be better for my family. I signed up so I can be better for my church. I didn't go so I can get a 4.0. I didn't go so I can be on the dean's list. I went back to get my master's so I can be all that God called me to be. Keep going. You may not have got that promotion. You may have got overlooked for the job. It's easy to say that they're holding you back, but ask yourself a hard question. Did you do all you were supposed to do to get promoted? Should you have been promoted? Only you can answer that question. Did they overlook you? Or did you not put yourself in the best position to be promoted? Keep going. Now, when you apply for that job the next time, you know what not to do. You know how to be prepared. You know how to respond during the interview process. You know how to talk to those people who are interviewing for that job. You see, you know what you did last time. It's easy. Don't do that. Keep going. There's situations in our lives, in our past, that have been keeping us paralyzed. Some things that happened in our teen years, some things that happened in our primary years. Keep going. Don't feel like just because that happened to you, that defines you. Because that happened to you, God allowed you to move through that. He saved you from that, and that is not who you are. Keep going. Be sure that you recognize that we have a limited time here. There's only so much time that we're going to be on this earth, and you cannot get out of life alive. So while you're here, going through all the pain, going through all the struggle, get something for it. Keep going. Use the pain for your power. Use the disappointment for the next level in your destiny. Keep going. These are the words that I wanted to share with you today. Brief, but powerful. Keep going. When it feels like you want to quit, when it feels like nobody's in your corner, keep going. When it seems like people aren't calling and checking on you, you call them and check on them. Keep going. When it seems like nobody told you that they love you lately, you call somebody, tell them that you love them. Keep going. Time's out for being the victim. Do something different. Keep going. I'm Ray with Wisdom on Wednesday. Have yourself a wonderful day and a blessed resurrection week. God bless.